President Obama, the most powerful man in the free world, always seems to be the last to know about what's going on in his own administration.
Forget for a moment that Republican outrage. More and more Democrats in key 2014 races are calling for the president to get a spine, they say, and fire his Veterans Affairs Secretary. And what more and more Democrats are saying privately is scathing, calling the president and his team detached, flat-footed, even incompetent.
Detached, flat-footed, and even incompetent, John King on CNN says Democrats are starting to call the president. Joining us now on the Malzberg panel, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome back C. Edmund Wright. You read him at Breitbart.com, an American thinker and, of course, a great author. And we're also joined by Seton Motley, founder of Less Government. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, hello.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey. All right, so let's start with you, Seton. This whispering and you know, in I guess behind closed doors, Democrats are actually saying those horrific things about our president. I guess they must be latent racists.
Yes, latent, blatant. No, they're realizing that this is going to be an additional dagger on Election Day this year. This is strictly electoral politics rearing its ugly head. I don't want Shinseki to be fired per se, because the message that should be made is this is single-payer government health care, and it's not that he couldn't run it, it's that no one can run it because the government doesn't run things well because of the wallet rule. Steve, if you went out on Friday night with your wallet and then you went out the following Friday night with my wallet, which night would you have more fun?
With your wallet.
Yeah, the government's always on other people's wallets, so they're not going to do things well. It's why the founding fathers extraordinarily limited what the federal government was supposed to do.
Edmund, you know, this is absolutely true, and the fact of the matter is that I think the Democrats are starting to say, "Uh-oh, this one isn't going to go away."
Yeah, I definitely think they're worried about this one, you know, for the reasons Seton mentioned. I mean, this is big government. This is not only big government health care, this is big government bureaus running our whatever part of our life you're talking about. What we've seen in the VA is bureaucrats getting wealthy while veterans are not getting healthy. Understand, it's not that there's a lack of money. The budget for the VA has exploded. It's the fact that the bureaucracies are going to look after one group of people, the bureaucrats. Now, if they ever get around in their 30-hour work weeks until they're age 46 and can retire to actually doing something for a constituent, that's just a bonus. Bureaucrats look after other bureaucrats, period.
Why is it, though, that, Seton, why is it, though, that we haven't heard, and maybe it's a rhetorical question, after all, we're talking about Republicans here. Why is it that they haven't been out there? Why aren't, I mean, some, I guess, have, but they should be pounding, along with sticking up for our veterans and coming up with a way to fix this in their own plan, like giving a card to a veteran who could go to any hospital they want. They should be saying, hey, this is what we're all going to be facing. Take their own words. That, hey, what, you know, Nancy Pelosi's own words, that it's Bush's fault because he put so many more people into the system. Well, if you combine Obamacare and immigration reform and what the Democrats want and what's going to happen even without immigration reform, when 80 million people now have to go into Obamacare when that mandate finally kicks in, this is going to be all of us. So why aren't they out there pounding that?
I have a friend who will remain nameless because he's a good guy. He's been a friend for about a dozen years. He's been a congressman for 3. And on Monday, 2 weeks ago, I suggested to him on a radio show, live, why aren't the Republicans doing this? Why aren't they connecting this, one, to Obamacare, and B, big government in general? And I used to work for Brent Bozell at the Media Research Center, and the best line he ever had was, I referenced the Republican Communications Association, and he said, there is one? He said, can they all fire each other? So the messaging on the Republicans has always been bad. They're not the stupid party for nothing. Yeah. This is I say this, I think everyone watching understands this. I say this strictly from an electoral perspective. This is a huge gift for people who actually want small government. And what I'm afraid of is that this lack of a proper response from the Republican Party that's supposed to be the less government party is they really don't want less government. They just want to manage the big government better than the Democrats. And that's why they're not taking advantage of this angle.
Well, I think absolutely, Edmund, when it comes to leadership in this party, whether it's McConnell or whether it's Boehner and Cantor and all of them, I think that's on target. But still, I mean, there's got to be a number of people who understand what you and I and the three of us understand here.
Yeah, well, you know, I wrote 100,000 words about this kind of thing, you know, last year with the book. And I agree with Seton. Some of them want the big government, but I wouldn't underestimate the two things: their ignorance and their isolation. I mean, when you go to Washington, it doesn't take long before you have totally forgotten what the rest of the planet, you know, looks like and how it operates. And Washington's a company town, and the company is government. And I think it's a combination of ignorance and also the fact that a lot of them now are part of the big government mindset. But you're right. This is, thank goodness, the latest polls show that Obamacare is down to 28%. I can guarantee you the VA is part of that. So some citizens are getting it, even if John Boehner and Mitch McConnell haven't.
Yeah, no, there was a new poll out today. You're absolutely right. And the final question on this to you, Seton. Do you think that that's it? Do you think the message is resonating and people are putting two and two together? I know, again, some people I think are, but I think, you know, to get to Joe Q public, you're really going to have to pound this into the general public's head.
Well, a lot of them are getting it on their own, and that's fantastic. But if you had a functional, you know, opposition party, it would be dramatically more effective as at reaching the mass audience. Richard Nixon said the first time you're sick of saying something in a speech is the first time the people you need to be hearing it are hearing it. And if the Republican Party is not doing it, and it's just kind of getting to people via osmosis, that there's a huge swath opportunity that's missed with all of these people. And I want to, if I may quote another person that I used to work with, Richard Viguerie said a lot of these guys ran on cleaning up the Washington cesspool, and then they got here and realized it was a hot tub.
All right. Guys, stay where you are. We're coming back. I want to talk about something Barack Obama said about the way the Founding Fathers set up our government, and it's consistent to what he has said in the past. Come back with us on the Steve Malzberg Show.